A young TikTok star was laughing with friends during a live stream. Seconds later, two men on a motorcycle pulled up. The camera kept rolling as gunshots rang out, turning an ordinary broadcast into a homicide investigation that has shocked Mexico. Now authorities are searching for answers, examining whether his online posts played a role, and asking one question that millions of viewers are now asking. Was César Gastélum targeted, and if so, why? To understand what happened, we have to go back to the beginning. Before we continue, welcome to the page. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss our in-depth true crime investigations. Now let's begin. For thousands of people across TikTok, César Gastélum was a familiar face. His videos attracted a growing audience, and his online presence made him one of many young influencers documenting everyday life in Sinaloa. To his followers, he was entertaining, confident, and seemed to enjoy sharing moments with friends. But behind the short videos and growing popularity was a young man who had unknowingly entered the spotlight for reasons no one could have imagined. In the days before his death, César continued posting content as usual. Nothing publicly suggested that his life was in immediate danger. Friends and followers interacted with his videos, leaving comments and sharing clips, while he continued building his audience. Then came the day that would change everything. On the day of the shooting, César met up with friends at a restaurant in Culiacán, Sinaloa. Like many content creators, he started a live stream, giving followers a glimpse into what appeared to be an ordinary outing. The atmosphere seemed relaxed. People were talking, laughing, and enjoying themselves. Thousands of viewers had no reason to believe they were about to witness the beginning of a homicide investigation. Then, without warning, everything changed. According to authorities, two men arrived on a motorcycle near the restaurant. Moments later, gunshots were fired. Panic erupted as people scrambled for safety. The live stream abruptly captured the confusion before ending, leaving viewers shocked and desperately searching for information about what had happened. Within minutes, emergency responders rushed to the scene. Despite their efforts, César Gastélum died from his injuries. News of the killing spread across Mexico within hours. The fact that the attack occurred during a live stream made the story travel even faster. Clips and screenshots flooded social media as millions of people tried to understand what they had just seen. But while rumors spread rapidly online, investigators began the slower process of separating fact from speculation. What detectives discovered next would only deepen the mystery. What investigators knew almost immediately was that this was no random accident. Police secured the area, collected evidence from the scene, and began interviewing witnesses who had been inside and around the restaurant. Surveillance cameras from nearby businesses were also reviewed in hopes of identifying the motorcycle and the two men seen moments before the shooting. Authorities confirmed that César had been deliberately targeted, but they did not immediately announce who was responsible or what the motive might have been. That uncertainty fueled intense speculation online, with countless theories spreading across social media before investigators had released many official details. As detectives worked to reconstruct César's final hours, they also turned their attention to his digital life. They began examining his social media accounts, recent posts, phone records, and the people he had been communicating with before the shooting. Investigators were also looking into whether anything he had shared online could help explain why he was attacked. Officials emphasized that these were investigative steps and cautioned the public not to jump to conclusions while the case remained active. That message, however, did little to slow the rumors. Within hours, social media users were analyzing César's old videos frame by frame. Some pointed to photos and posts they believed hinted at connections to criminal figures, while others argued there was no evidence proving he was involved in any illegal activity. Authorities have not publicly concluded that his online content establishes a motive, and the investigation remains ongoing. For César's family and friends, the speculation only added to an already devastating loss. They remembered him not as a headline, but as a son, a friend, and a young man whose life had been cut short far too soon. As tributes poured in online, followers expressed disbelief that someone they had been watching just moments earlier was suddenly gone. Meanwhile, investigators were asking another critical question. Who knew where César would be that day? Because the shooting happened while he was live streaming, detectives considered whether the broadcast itself may have revealed his location in real time. They also examined whether the attackers had been following him beforehand or whether they had already known where to find him. As of now, authorities have not publicly announced their conclusions on those questions. As the investigation expanded, law enforcement agencies continued gathering forensic evidence, reviewing surveillance footage, and tracing the movements of the suspects before and after the attack. Then another development drew even more attention. Investigators began taking a closer look at Cesar's online activity in the days leading up to his death. According to officials and multiple news reports, some of his social media posts referencing a criminal group became part of the investigation. Authorities have not said those posts prove a motive or establish responsibility for the killing, but they confirmed they are examining them as part of the broader inquiry. That revelation reignited public debate. Was Cesar targeted because of something he posted online? Or was there another reason entirely? At this stage, investigators have not provided a definitive answer, leaving one of the biggest questions in the case unanswered. As detectives continue following every lead, the search for those responsible remains one of the most closely watched homicide investigations in Mexico. And until arrests are made or authorities reveal more evidence, the mystery surrounding César Gastelum's final livestream continues to grow. As investigators continue searching for those responsible, César Gastelum's family is still waiting for answers. A young man who started a live stream to connect with his audience instead became the center of a homicide investigation that has captured international attention. The person who pulled the trigger has not been publicly identified, and many of the biggest questions remain unanswered. Was this a carefully planned attack? Why was César targeted? And will investigators uncover the truth behind his final moments? Those are the questions that continue to drive this investigation, and we'll be following every new development as it happens. If you found this report informative, let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think investigators should focus on next? If you want more in-depth true crime documentaries and the latest updates on major homicide cases, make sure you subscribe to Case Watch and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an investigation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next case.